Welcome everybody to Business Monday. I am Josh Fenton, CEO of GoLocal. We are excited to be here with Janelle Blakely, Photopoulos. So welcome to the big house.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
So glad to be here.
So big time designer, CEO, founder of Blakely Interior Design, now growing to be a significant interior design firm. Seven folks?
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that overnight.
No.
No. What was the impetus for the idea?
The impetus for the idea of the business?
Yeah, of the business.
Well, my background is a little bit varied from designers. We typically, there's this classic education. You get out of high school, you go to college for design, you end up working for a larger firm and kind of grow that way. I grew in a very different way. I started actually in business. I graduated with a marketing degree, went to work in advertising for a while and in corporate America.
All the smart people do.
And went to work in corporate America. I was at AT&T for many years working in corporate communications. And I always had a love of design. And it wasn't until I had children that we moved from the New York City area to Rhode Island. And I was home with my kids, and we reimagined our home. And it was from there, that little process of reimagining our home, when people saw it, they said, "Are you a designer?" And I said, "Well, no, but I love it." And they said, "People would pay you for this." And I said, "Oh, gee, well, maybe that's my next career." So I ended up going to RISD. It took 5 years to go through the program because I took one class at a time, and I had 3 kids. But it was a great journey. I learned a lot, and here we are today. I have a team of 7, and I couldn't be happier.
You've got to be one of the larger interior design firms in Rhode Island with 7 professionals.
I imagine that might be the case.
Yeah, I think you are. We're going to do a list of the largest interior design firms. Talk about who's your customer? Who hires you? What's the size of the project? What's the budget? Tell us the budget.
Oh,
Everybody wants to know the budget.
Okay, well, they vary. So
I knew you were going to go with the vary.
I'll give you some details. I know you
Okay.
want details. I'll give you some details. But our projects typically range. We have different types of clients. Clients that want to hire us to come in and just be that design guidance.
Yep.
They want us to come in and say, yes, you're on the right track. Pick this tile, not that tile. Some just guidance to kind of get them in their own off on their own, if you will, and they don't need us to manage that project for them, but they want validation, right? Of
Right.
what am I picking the right things? Help me here. So those are kind of design consultation
Are they
clients.
looking for sourcing help too? Like,
A lot of
where do
them-
I get? I saw this here. How do I get that?
Some of them do that. What we do with those design consultations is if they're looking for those sources, we can give them those sources that they can then go source on their own, certainly. And for clients that really want us to take it to the next level, that they need more than just an hour and a half to 2 hours of on-site visit, then we create a design proposal for them. And those projects, we are a full service interior design firm, so those projects go all the way from space planning and design concepts all the way to furniture selection, placement, and actually installation in the home. And many times our projects tend to have a lot of construction involved, and we do new construction projects. So back to your question about size, it can be from a design consultation that's an hour and a half to right now we're working on a project, we're at a year mark right now, and it was a full construction project that happens.
Do you go to family birthday parties at this point?
I surely hope that we're invited. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you grow a close relationship with these clients, and so they become friends for sure. And the scale of that project is a much different thing. It's a multiple six-figure project. And so those are the types of projects that don't come around very often, but when they do, those are the things that you have to really staff up for and make sure that you can support those clients, which is largely why we are where we are today with our staff.
And then primarily Rhode Island, the East Coast, global, Paris.
Paris, oh, well, that'll be next. Not yet in Paris. We do work out of state. Right now we are working in most of, I'd say, New England as well as New Jersey, New York. Haven't yet. We have actually done some in Florida. So I would say East Coast, but I would love to see that go nationwide.
That's great. And how do people learn of you? Is it word of mouth? Is that the primary? Oh, I was over at so-and-so's house. I love what they were doing. They used Janelle.
It's a little bit of everything, to be honest. We do receive, I would say most of our larger clients and larger projects are from referral.
Yeah.
However, I would say a large number of the people that come to us and inquire about services and we just do some sort of design service for come to us through the internet, which I think is going back to my first career in corporate communications. I managed digital online communications for AT&T at one point. So I think that career really helped me so that we're able to communicate to the outside world what we have to offer. And so that really has worked well for us.
What's been the biggest challenge? You've been in business 7 years?
Going 8. Yep.
Going on 8. And nice growth, increase in revenue. I think you mentioned the green room, significant growth in revenue over the past couple of years.
Yeah, we, I think as when you start any business, especially, I started my business sort of in tandem with when I was at RISD. So there's only so much you can do, and before you grow a staff, you only have so many hours in a day.
Right.
And so I really saw exponential growth when I started building my team, and revenue from last year to this year I've doubled, which is a great accomplishment. I'm very proud of that, but it comes with a lot of management of team members and making sure that you're staying focused.
And biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge? Well, one, I'm a very big thinker and a very big idea person, so I brainstorm a lot. So one of my biggest challenges is really honing in on those ideas that have legs that I really want to infuse into the business. But aside from that, it's really the talent. Design is one of those fields that you really need to have somebody on your team that doesn't just have the technical ability, because there's a lot of people that have the technical ability, but really hone in on your aesthetic. And in design, that's a really critical component.
And when you're you're at 7 folks now, could you hire more if you could find them?
We just hired someone last week, so I think we're okay right this second, but I was just talking to my business manager, Judy, and she was like, oh, well, let's keep that. Come first quarter next year, we're going to have to see where we are. I want to grow, but I also want to grow in a smart way so that, everyone has security in the business.
So a good economy right now. It's been a good economy. It's been a growth economy for upwards of almost a decade now. And
I know where you're going with this.
And rich folks have had an especially good year with the Trump tax cuts. What do you worry about? Do you worry about the economy?
I do. I think any smart business owner should worry about the economy. What I'm trying to do is to diversify my business so that I'm not, it's no secret that interior design is a luxury service.
Yeah.
We certainly want to make it accessible to everyone and have something that everyone can, I believe that everyone deserves a beautiful home. So I'm trying to diversify my business so that I'm able to offer services to not just the wealthy, right?
Yeah.
But also one of the things that we're doing, which is really exciting, is we're starting to kind of take that baby step into retail so that we can offer our vision and our brand aesthetic to really anyone. We're starting a series of pop-up events,
cool.
which are kind of that, I think of it as like rethinking retail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So as a mom of 3 kids, I don't really want to go in on a Saturday morning while my son's playing soccer to a retail store. So how can we really do this, offer what we have to the public, our vision for what I call living vibrantly, which is our tagline.
Yeah.
And it really looks like these events. We want to create this experience for people to come to an event. I think we're going to start quarterly. We actually have one tomorrow night.
Congratulations. Where is it?
It's at my design studio in North Kingstown.
Excellent. Design Studio North Kingstown. The address?
650 10 Rod Road.
650 10 Rod Road.
And tomorrow,
What time?
October 2nd. Wait,
First?
what's today? It's Wednesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I'm sorry.
This show's live. It's not okay. So it's on Wednesday.
It's on
10 Rod
Wednesday.
Road in North Kingstown. What time?
At 5:30.
Great.
Yeah. So the events like this are to create an experience, a shopping experience. So we're going to have a lot of our accessories that we have that we put into clients' homes, but we want to be able to offer to the public. But we're also creating other content. So I have a positive psychologist, Dr. Wendy O'Connor, coming in, talking about how to live your most vibrant life. And I also have one of our local artists, Jessica Rosenheimer, coming to do a live painting demonstration, really trying to infuse that element of living vibrantly, and how do people do it through color, through thinking positively. So I really wanted to go just beyond having a beautiful home.
So everybody loves, sort of the, inner workings of design in luxury homes, right? Everybody loves house porn, as it's so elegantly talked about, and go creeping in to see what Taylor Swift's house looks like, or Jay Leno, or other famous Rhode Islanders. Talk a little bit about, these blank palettes that you get to go in and really explore and create, very, very unique experiences for folks. And budgets really, for some, isn't really an obstacle.
For some, we make it part of our process. We're very process driven. I think that's the corporate in me, to make sure that we get a budget every time. Even when we have clients that say they don't have a budget, there's always a budget.
Yeah.
So,
but some of those budgets are really big budgets.
Oh yeah, and we like those.
Yes.
We absolutely like those. How? Because it allows you more freedom to be creative.
Right.
But to answer your question, going back to these empty spaces, or these blank slates, if you will,
Right.
that's really, as a designer, what we really love to do, because it allows us to really have any option. So we start our process by creating design concepts, and that's through the discovery phase with the client, and really learning what are they looking to the space to feel like in the home. And so from that concept, it really jumps off into all of the details of creating that space. So that's the kind of the trajectory, and then we go into selecting all the items and then installing it.
The project you're working on now, that's been going on for a year, that you've sort of started at the beginning, is one of your largest. What's been one of the most unique space, unique conditions? Was it a tiny house? Did it used to be a cave?
It's a new construction. Actually, it was a knockdown on the water.
Yeah.
So I think that they bought the property for the
No, but
the land.
not that project. Give me another example of
Oh, aside
something
from that one.
totally unique.
Well, one of the projects that we actually have gotten the most media buzz around was I think it's a 750 square foot house.
750 square foot house.
And
Is
it's
that officially a tiny house?
It is, I think.
Yeah.
And it was down in Green Hill. It was a beach cottage that we had worked with the clients before on a different property. They love us, they trust us, and they came in and they said, okay, we bought this house. And it was one that you look and you're like, oh, heaven help us. But we really knew that there was a vision, like we could see past it. And it's one of our best transformations. And it was a tiny project, tiny house, I should say, but also there were only a couple bedrooms, a loft, but we completely reimagined it. And
That's
so
right.
that, if you looked at the before and afters of those photos, which you can, I believe it's on our Facebook page, that was really exciting. And everyone loves the before and afters, especially when it goes
everybody loves before and after.
from like dark and dingy to like an old wagon wheel light fixture from the 70s and panels to this bright light. It was great.
Oh, you don't do the wagon wheel and the wood paneling?
We don't. However, I did tease the client. I told her that I was going to work that in somehow. Yeah.
That's awesome. Almost exclusively residential, very little commercial, and that's kind of by choice.
By choice. I love building those connections with people and really getting a sense of what they want to experience in their home. I think we were speaking a little earlier about, like, I'm a believer that your environment that you spend the majority of your time in, it has an impact on your well-being. And so I really want to create spaces for people that will uplift them and make them feel like they're really living their best life.
Folks are at home, they don't have a big budget, they are thinking about doing something. Where should they start? Should they call you and have you in for an hour and a half?
They could, but I think it all just depends on what they're looking for. I have some resources, actually free resources on my website, blakelyinteriordesign.com. And there's an interior design project planner there that we have put together 13 pages that walks you through the process.
Wow.
It helps you identify a budget, how to create your concept. Obviously, if you want to reach out to us, we'd love to help you. But if you're someone that likes to do all that on your own, you can use that as a resource. But definitely find something that inspires you. That's really the first step.
Probably a lot of guys not calling you for their man caves.
No.
Have you
although
ever had a man cave project?
We did. Well, it was part of a larger house. It was a new construction project we did. We installed it in January of this past year. And it was funny because the basement, the wife was like, okay, you can have your man cave. And so what happened was in the new construction process, the layout ended up, there were these big posts and these support columns that were just not where they expected them to be when they ended up doing them.
Did that kill the man cave?
Well, it turned into a man cubby.
Oh no, no pool table in that man
But
cave.
it was a lovely man cubby. So we had a gift made for the client that just said man cubby. Actually, it was Ken's man cubby.
You went through the Goldman Sachs project. We've had a number of graduates on. They've all raved about it. Just give a little insight. I know they're recruiting right now for the
they
next
are.
cohort. Talk about what the value of it was for you and your business.
Absolutely. I can't speak more highly of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. I was in cohort 1, which was the very first one. Gina Raimondo really fought to have it brought to the state and we were the first statewide program. Everything else is citywide. And as she jokes, we're a city-state.
Yeah.
But what I got out of that, I got a lot out of it, but I think the main thing was really to this mindset shift that we are all very capable of whatever we envision for our business, and we just need to have, it provided the tools, the financial, the forecasting, the growth planning and strategy, all the things that you would expect, sort of like a condensed mini MBA program.
Yeah.
But it had this impact on my mindset that was like, you got this. If this is your vision and this is what you want to bring to the world with your brand and your offering, then let's create a plan and do it.
Awesome. That's the lesson of the day.
Yeah.
See it, do it. Congratulations
Great.
on all the success.
Thanks, Josh.
Stay
Thanks for
right
having
here.
me.
Janelle, thanks so much. All the success, up to 7 people, leading interior design firm in Rhode Island. We are off for the rest of the day. Gary Sass, the money man, will be back next Monday. He just got back into town. We gave him the afternoon off. Kate Nagel will be here tomorrow. I believe she's got University of Virginia political science professor Jennifer Lawless. I'm sure she'll have just a few things to say about what's going on in Washington, D.C., and about 9 other things. This is a busy week. We've got IGT hearings up at the State House, both in the Senate tomorrow as well as Thursday in the House. We've also got Rob McCallahan, the sort of guru of shooting coaches in the NBA. He'll be on Wednesday. We've got Brown Med Schools over with the Warren Alpert folks on Wednesday. So we'll see everybody later in the week. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in here on Small Business Fuel. Thank you.